Hey, this is Dale Tinsley. You're listening to the Connect podcast. Our purpose is to guide you to connect with yourself so that you can connect with others and live a life of meaning and value. Welcome back to Connect. Today's episode is called Foundation. Being of service to others is a good layer to get in there and connect with somebody and lessen their suffering. And that's a direct manifestation in your external foundation, right? It's an act. So it begins with the thought. When someone reaches out and they need something, and you go and help them with the right intentions, even if maybe they're not as grateful as you think they should be, that doesn't matter. If your intentions are in the right place, you did your part, you lessened some suffering, you help someone out, and that's a win. And as you continue to build these wins through different choices, you're going to build momentum. And you'll see people's reactions. If they're used to a version of you that's mainly driven by ego, they'll have one of those moments, right? And so you'll definitely start to have those moments as well. As you see yourself and your patterns and your planning and your reactions and your choices changing. You'll feel lighter. You'll feel healthier. You'll start sleeping better. So external foundation and internal foundation are directly related. External foundation, if you're unorganized, if you're in a dirty environment, if you're dealing with stressors, it's usually going to create some chaos in your mind. And then sometimes that chaos will manifest or it can lead to manifesting to where you really just feel beat down, right? You've got external chaos, internal chaos, you feel beat down, you don't even want to really do anything. And at that point, you're stuck in a pattern of just going through the motions and doing the bare minimum to really just exist and survive. I think a lot of us have definitely been through that, and we can all relate to that and understand that. Sometimes, even through the actions of others, we get put in those situations, and we're taxed hard emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, but we don't have to stay there. Those feelings, those emotions, that mental state, that doesn't have to stay. You can push past it. And pushing past it and realizing that everything is fluid and momentum is real, energy is real, you have to make the choice that you're not going to accept that anymore. You don't want to live like that. It all begins with the thought. It all begins with the thought and recognizing for you as an individual what's healthy and what's unhealthy. When I make these choices, does it bring me joy, love, happiness, gratitude for yourself, right? Internally, not externally, but when you create these realities for yourself, what value and meaning does that bring to you? And I'll tell you this, if you're chasing value and meaning, you should have a pretty good life, mentally anyway. And that's the starting point. You can create anything for yourself if you have those as part of your foundation and they're prioritized. No matter what I'm going to do, I want it to bring value and meaning to my life. Every relationship I'm in, the music that I listen to, any kind of media that I take in, the food that I eat, and then recognizing the things that don't bring value and meaning to your life, and just making the choice to not engage. No one is better than you, and no one is below you. We all play our part. We all do what we're designed to do. But are you living it? Are we caught in a pattern that's just the same pattern? Well, I just do it because that's what I'm supposed to do. That's something that we have to answer for ourselves. Am I caught in a loop that is the same thing over and over and over? I've been caught up in some pretty unhealthy patterns. And at first, even some of it might be fun in the moment, right? And then ultimately that pattern starts to weigh you down. I'll use alcohol as an example. It can be fun, and then it can impede on other layers of your life and lower your energy and affect your sleep and affect your attitude. And so once certain things in your life are out of balance, because using alcohol as the example, it has effects on other things. Once you're out of balance, because these other things that were keeping you in balance are affected, then here comes the chaos, and here comes the internal struggle between the ego and your spirit. And the ego is starting to come back up, and you're starting to get aggravated and annoyed, and you had positive momentum going, and now you're starting to backslide. You got to do that all stop. You got to do that all stop and get back into the internal reflection of what's going on. Why am I this way? I was better, and now I'm here. So I used alcohol as an example. It could be a relationship. It could be a new partner or an old partner that's gone through some things, but ultimately that person, or that, we'll stay with relationship, that person for you is affecting you in an unhealthy way. And now your appetite is off. Now you don't care about certain things that you used to care, because you're dealing with this internal battle based on that relationship being unhealthy for you. You're starting to do some things that are not part of your internal foundation. There's layers and layers and layers of things that can self-sabotage us and affect us and kill our momentum and chip away at our foundation. And that's why it's so important to do the internal work and really establish that foundation and that vision that you have for yourself, and map it out so you can see it, and then start to really work on becoming those key things that make up your foundation. I'll throw some words out there. How about comprehension? How about ability? How about quality? How about health? How about detail? How about thought? How about resolve? Charisma, curiosity, patience, vitality, integrity, fortitude. Those are some of my favorites. And as you really get into words like that, you choose your own. They have to bring meaning and value to you as an individual. You start mapping those words out and becoming aware of those words, and start implementing those words and seeing those words, seeing those moments within yourself, and you'll start to see them in other people. You already do. That's why that word is on that paper in front of you, because you want to be more of that. And as you become aware, your consciousness will elevate, and it's layers and layers up. And as you work through those things, you'll feel more connected to yourself, and in turn feel more connected to others. I'll leave you with that for today. Take the inventory, map it out, see it for what it is, and have that starting point with really digging into your internal foundation and also your external foundation and the choices and the patterns that you have as an individual, because we can see outside of ourselves easily. We can see patterns in other people. Well, this person always does this. They always say this. This is how they react. When you look in that mirror and you start to do that internal work for yourself, because you've owned your reality, you're the architect. You're the creator. So what are you going to create? Until next time, this is Connect. God bless. Thanks for joining us at the Connection Studio. You can support us by sharing with others and posting to social media. Keep doing the internal work, as it will truly make all the difference. God bless.